So yeah, if you have to hide something, it's just, whether it's a conversation, a text, just any type of communication from your significant other.
Yes.
And that's when it starts.
You're crossing lines, and anything that you do for a long period of time becomes a habit.
Right.
And it gets easier and easier to do, and then that's how you end up falling into a puddle of pussy.
That's right.
Is what we
say. Micro infidelity becomes macro infidelity.
It does.
And then
exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I get older, I look at it differently too, because I always look at the example of Obama. And I think on some level, he went to Michelle and said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be the one that messed this up. Don't let it be you. And she said, you know what? I'm not going to be the one that messed this up. Don't let it be you. And they could never get him like that. And everybody before him, except for George Bush Jr., got caught up. Clinton, another woman. Donald Trump, many other women. So I think that with Obama was just smart enough to be like, you know what? I'm not going out like that. I'm just going to be with my wife. And I think that you can achieve more.
I mean, I know we're talking about our favorite president of the United States, but I'm hoping that there's somebody else in the world outside of him that is just honest. And
he's the most common person.
And wants their person. You know what I mean? Wants their person, and they want their person to be secure, not only because I'm saying be secure, but they should be able to be secure in quiet moments, in moments alone, when you're not together. I mean, ultimately, that's what women want. We want to feel safe.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Go ahead.
That's true. I was going to say the S word.
We want to feel safe. Safe with you. Safe when we're not with you. You know what I mean? That you are protecting our heart. If I'm giving you my heart, you have to do right by it. If I'm giving you my heart, and as soon as you walk out the door, you texting, hey, what you want to eat to somebody else.
Right, exactly.
I mean, like, that's terrible. I mean, even if it's not physical, it's just that person has so much emotional and mental real estate within you that I'm not getting. And I don't think I'm a jealous person, but I could be a jealous person if you give me every reason in the world to be a jealous person. But I wouldn't want to be in that relationship, because that's not going to allow me to be my best self. And I need to be, the best Jay out here.
I'm trying not to slurp up this green shake
that I did such a good job making.
Right? Gosh, I'm gonna wait till later.
Those smoothies are everything. But as I get older, I've had to learn, and the reason that I mentioned Obama, because that was an inflection point for me. That was a point where I realized that this is important. Don't do this. This is why you don't do this. And I'm sure I knew it on some level before, but that's the first time that I ever really saw it. And I was like, man, this is brilliant. You can eliminate so much just by being, having fidelity. And it was such an important thing that I bookmarked it in my mind. And
let me tell you, when women are feeling loved, cherished, and they feel safe and protected, we pour into you so tough, you will get everything you want. Yeah. If we feel safe, you will get.
But hopefully you're that person that's enough.
You will get everything you want if we feel like you are protecting us and protecting our hearts and our space. Yes. If I feel like my man loves and cherishes me and has me and would never hurt me and protects me, everything he wants. I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Like no doesn't exist.
Right.
It just doesn't. We don't even want to say no in that scenario.
And that's what men don't get. But once you fuck up and you have an emotional affair, which, like you said, is worse than a physical affair. This damn earring. So once you do that, then pretty much we will never say all bets are off, but that's pretty much how we feel.
I think it's important too. I mean, both of you all talked about the importance of the truth. And it's such a good and peaceful place to be in that space where you tell the truth. Yeah. Where, this is what it is. Like you talked about not locking your phone.
Listen, if If you're not telling the truth, what don't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. My boyfriend says that all the time. I love that phrase, and it's true. It's gonna come out. So you just tell the truth.
It will come out.
I'm a firm believer in that, and I've learned it, both through hearing it, experiencing it, and the hard way. So it's something that I try to take forward in all of the things that I do.
Yeah.
And the emotional affair, a lot of people say, well, I'm not cheating. Yeah, you kind of are.
Just because you haven't inserted body parts into somebody else's body parts doesn't make it not cheating.
100% correct.
Yes.
Plus, I think that there has to be something, like in sports, you always have to, if you're going to ever be good at sports, you have, at some point or another, you have to give it everything that you have.
What sport did you play?
I played football, I played basketball, and baseball.
Okay.
Yes.
Damn, that was a challenge.
Right.
Yeah. So,
He keeps going back to these sports.
but in sports, you have to give it everything that you have. I think relationships are the same way. I think at some point, you have to give your relationship, and even on a continual basis, everything that you have.
Yeah.
And we talked about, and we've had talks before about when to walk away, when to stay. But if you've given everything that you have, and it's time to walk away, you don't look back, because you know that.
So true.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
True.
I have nothing else to give you.
That's so true. That's
I've exhausted
why
every
when I have
little bit.
I will hang in there probably for way too long, because one of my ships has told me that that you do give people chance after chance, and I do. I will give people chance, that, and but once I'm done and I walk away, you will never, not ever, get me back, because I'm really done, and because I've exhausted all chances. And I've hung in there with all your foolery and tried to figure it out and tried to talk it out. But after a while, it's just like, you know what? You take care.
And that's just
Have fun
about
with
at the
that mediocre
point
over there.
where somebody is like,
If you do all of that and you find out your person is having an emotional affair with someone after you have extended chance after
Right,
chance,
yeah, that's what
given everything that you have,
Yes,
it's
yes.
the
And
biggest
'cause
slap in the face.
It is a slap in the face.
Because all you really want is that person's attention, affection, admiration, adoration. And you're giving it away?
Right.
Yeah, you could be done and say, you know what, good riddance, have a nice life.
Yeah.
Lose my number.
but that's so important, because I think that, we all have talked about it, that people stay far too long in relationships.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I can disconnect. I
still say women do
can
more,
I
but-
can flip
Turn it
that
off.
proverbial switch when it's like, I have nothing else to give you.
Tank is empty.
And typically that's about the point that somebody is like, I really want to try to put this back together. And you're like, I'm good. Thanks, but no thanks. Tell your story walking.
There is a point in that, and it could be a week's difference, because it's a very
Yeah, it's a window.
it's a small window that a woman is still wanting for you to try and repair the relationship because they put so much into
I
it.
want you to fix it.
Yes, but when that window closes, and it could be a week, when that window shuts, it's done. Like if you would have stepped to that plate a week before, yeah, we'd be back on the,
In counseling.
little engine that could train. Yeah, but
I think that I agree, and I'm a chauvinist. This is well documented, but I think that when women shut it down, it's done. A man, it's rare that a man is no point that a man can just like there's no get back. But I think that when women shut it down, it's shut down.
It is.
And I think men try and get back in there, not even because they want the relationship back, they just want to know that they can get it back.
I agree with
the
that.
conquest.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
think it's just like, okay, I want to not feel like you
Because
quit
they
me.
always come back. They always come back, no matter what happens or what, how you broke up, they always try to come back. And it's up to us to say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can rest on the, the heels of, I didn't have a physical affair. I didn't touch her. I didn't kiss her. Yeah, you've given her your heart, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've given her something I couldn't attain, that you wouldn't give me. Yeah. It's just no coming back from that.
No.